So if the compound interest for the years, if the rates of compound interest for the first year is R1, second year is R2, third year is R3, and so on. Therefore, the formula will be A is equal to amount. Let's write the full thing. Amount after amount at the end. And now it may be 2 years, it may be 3 years, it may be 5 years. Okay, the amount at the end will be A is equal to P into, for the first year, you have R1 as your rate of interest. So you will have 1 plus R1 by 100. For the second year, you have R2 rate of interest. So you have R2 by 100. And for the third year, you have R3 by 100. And if for the fourth year also you have, then this will continue. Okay. So this is the formula that we are going to use. Okay. So let's see a problem based on this. I think this is question number 9. Okay, in the exercise, see question number 9. If you can read from here, it says find the compound interest on rupees 3,125 for 3 years if the rate of interest for the first, second, and third year are respectively 4%, 5%, and 6% per annum. So here, what is given? Principal is given 3,125. Okay, this amount is being invested. And for how many long is it being invested? It is being invested for 3 years. Okay. If the rate of interest for the first year, now we will not write n is equal to 3 because if you see in the formula, there's no n here. Is there any n here? There's no n here, right? So therefore, we will not be writing n because all the rates are different for different years. So what is for the first year? What is the rate here? So if you see for the first year, the rate given here is 4%. For the second year, the rate given here is 5%. For the third year, the rate given here is 6%. Okay. So amount, you need to find out compound interest. So before the compound interest, you need to find out the amount. Amount at the end of 3 years. A is equal to P 1 plus R1 by 100, 1 plus R2 by 100 into 1 plus R3 by 100. Now simply put the values. 3,125 to 1 plus R1 is 4. R2 is 5. R3 is 6. Okay. Now you can cancel here. 4 will cancel with this 25 times. 5 will cancel 20 times. And you can cancel here with 2. 2 and 50. So what you get here is 3,125. 1 plus 1 by 25. 1 plus 1 by 20. And you get 1 plus 3 by 50. Now you take the LCM. 3,125. First, if you take the LCM, here you get 25. 25 plus 1. Here you take the LCM, you get 20. You get 20 plus 1. And here you take the LCM, you get 50 plus 3. First one is 26 by 25. Next one is
Excuse me,
21
sir.
by 20. Yes, tell me.
Sir, can you please tell loudly? Sir, your voice is so low.
Okay. Okay. Because my microphone was a little higher. Anyway, so 53 by 50. Now you can hear me clearly. You can hear me clearly now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now we'll cancel. Okay. 25 will cancel with 3125. You can cancel any way you want. You can cancel with 5 also. So if you cancel with 25, you will get here 1, 2, 5. Right. Now 125 will again cancel with 20 here. In fact, you can cancel 5 with 20 will go 4 times, and here this will go 25 times. And then this 25 will cancel here uh, with
2 times.
50 twice. Okay. So this is, or maybe we can keep a 10. Let's not cancel 25. Okay, let's not cancel 20. Let's cancel with 5 so that we can keep a 10 here. Okay. Let's cancel with 5 times. And let's cancel this here. Oh, this was already 25. So let's cancel here 5. Okay. So this is what we get. So what are we getting ultimately? Ultimately, we are getting 5 into 26 into 21 into 53 divided by 40. Right? This is what we are getting. Now, how do you calculate this? Do you know how to calculate this? You multiply all this. Okay. You will get 144,690 divided by 40. Now, this part is very important. Okay. You can cancel this 0. So what are you getting here? 14469 divided by 4 you are getting. Right? Okay. Now you can, I think, yes, nothing is required here actually. Okay. You can directly divide. So you can divide this and get rupees 3,617. I thought no, there's something special there. There's nothing special here. Okay. I could have cancelled the 0 here only. I could cancel with 5 only. So no problem. It is always better. The point here is that it is always better to keep the zeros in the denominator. It is easier to calculate later on. Okay. So this is what you are getting. So therefore, what is the compound interest? At the end of 3 years? Is equal to amount minus principal. Amount is 3,617.25 minus, and principal here is 3,125. So you get here rupees 492.25. Okay, that is how you calculate. Any question here? Now, before moving on to the next topic, just a small um, trick of division. Suppose if I want to divide I want to divide this by, say, 40. How will I divide? You know how to divide? Because of this 0, I'll shift 1 decimal place here. So I'll get 124,212.4 divided by 4. Is this step clear? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Good. Now I can divide by 4 directly. Or this you will, if you divide this by 4, you'll get 3, 1, 0, 5, 3.1. Okay, so that is one trick of division. So that is why I always tell you, keep a 0 in the denominator always. Keeping a denominator 0 in the denominator always helps. Okay, fine. Let's move on to the next problem. Now all the tricks are over. Okay, all the examples are over. Now we move on to some problems from compound interest based on whatever formula I have given you, half yearly, quarterly, different rates for different years. Okay, now the problem that will come across are all mixed. Okay. Now look at number 7. Question here is, find the difference between the simple interest and compound interest on 2500 years, 2500 rupees for 2 years at 4% per annum. Compound interest being reckoned semi-annually. Okay. So what is the difference between the interest that you get? Suppose you are investing 2500 rupees. Okay. Suppose someone invests, your friend invests 2500 rupees at simple interest, but you invest 2500 rupees at compound interest, and that too interest is compounded semi-annually, half yearly. Okay. Then what is the difference in your incomes? That is the question. Okay. So let's calculate your friend's income first. So calculation of SI. So here principal invested is 2500. Time here, because we represent time by T in case of simple interest. So capital T here is 2 years, and R here is 4%. So therefore SI is equal to PRT by 100, 2500 into 4 into 2 by 100. So these two cancel. So you get 200. The simple interest that you are getting, your friend is getting, in fact, is 200 rupees. Now you are more clever, right? So what you do is, you don't invest in simple interest, but rather you invest in compound interest. So let's see how much your income is. And then you will say, go to your friend and you will say, okay, see here, I invested at compound interest. So see how much more I got. So let's see how much more you get. Calculation of compound interest. Okay, so here again we start with the same principle. 2500. N is 2 years. Now see, N is 2, but compound interest being reckoned half yearly, right? So what do we do with time? We divide this by 2, right?
And rate will be
Multiply, sorry, not divide, multiply. You multiply the time by 2. Okay. And what do we do with the rate? We divide by 2.
divide, sir.
So rate here is 2. So what is the amount at the end of 2 years? After 2 years, how much are you getting? A is equal to P into 1 plus R by 100 to the power of N. Put the values. So you cancel here. Now you take the LCM. So 2500 into 51 by 50 to the power of 4. So how do you calculate this? 2500, 51 by 50 needs to be multiplied 4 times. Okay. So 2 zeros will cancel here. You can cancel 5 here 5 times, and you can cancel this 5. So only left with 50 into 50, and you have 51 into 51. Okay, so how much do you get here? You get 51 into 51 into 51 into 51 divided by 50 into 50. Okay, so now what you do, because as I told you, it is always convenient to keep zeros in the denominator. I want to make this 50 into 100. and I also want to make this 50 into 100. So what do? I multiply the numerator and denominator by 2 twice into 2 into 2. Why am I multiplying by 2 into 2? Because in the denominator, I will be multiplying 150 by 2, and I'll be multiplying another 50 by 2. That is why I'm multiplying the numerator also by 2 into 2. Is this step clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Good. So now this is 51.
Sir, can you please explain this?
Yes, just try to understand this, and maybe if then you can't understand, then I will explain. See, what happens is, because I have multiplied 50 by 2 here, 50 with 2, I want to make this 100. So I'm getting 100 here, and I'm getting 100 here also, isn't it? Because of this 50 into 2. Yes.
Yes, sir.
So now
Yes,
what
sir.
happens? So now what happens is that when I'm multiplying here in the numerator, now if I multiply 51 into 51 into 51 into 51 into 2 into 2, then I am going to get 2000, not 2000, 285, 6. I'm going to get 4 zeros. Okay. Oh. Okay, so I'm going to get here 27060,804. And I'm going to get 4 zeros in the denominator. Now, so now this becomes easy. You just shift, because there are 4 zeros here. You shift 4 decimal places, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you get rupees 2,706. Just a minute here. Just give me a minute. Something wrong. So there's something wrong in the notes, okay, calculation, but this is the right calculation. Okay, so this is 2706.0804. This is the amount that you are getting. Okay. Now, what should be the compound interest then? Compound interest at the end of 2 years. You will get this as amount minus principal. So you're getting 2706.08. Let's take 0.08 only, because 8 paisa minus principal was 2500. So you're getting rupees 206.08. Right? So what is the difference in the simple interest and compound interest? Therefore, difference between SI and CI is equal to CI minus SI, because compound interest is always greater. You are clever than your friend because you invested in compound interest. So you got 206.08, whereas your friend got only 200 rupees. So you get how much more than your friend? 6 rupees 8 paisa more than your friend. Is this clear? Yes. Any question?
So can you
No,
please,
sir.
Okay, tell me.
sir, I need to take the screenshot. Okay, sir, thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to the next problem. The next problem is number 13 that we are going to do. Now, as I told you, be very careful with half yearly and quarterly rate of interest. You have to look in the question whether interest is compounded half yearly, annually, or semi-annually, or quarterly. You have to see that in the question. Okay, let's see the next one, number 13. Let's read the question. This is the question. On what sum will compound interest for 2 years at 4% per annum be 5,712? So compound interest is given to you. Here CI is given to you as 5,712, right? Time, since not per annum, see the compound interest is being compounded annually, so nothing, you don't have to half the rate or double the time. Okay, or so n here is 2 years. Okay, and rate here is 4%. So what do you have to find? On what sum? You have to find out the principal. Okay, so how do you find out the principal? Here, remember, principal is not given, compound interest is given. So we start with the compound interest formula. So we have CI is equal to A minus P, isn't it? Put the value of CI here to find out the amount. What is CI? 5,712 is equal to A minus P. Therefore, what is the amount here? Amount here is 5,712 plus P. All of you agree with this? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now we use the compound interest formula. Now we have amount is equal to principal 1 plus R by 100 to the power of N. Now amount, how much have we got here? We have got the amount as 5,712 plus P. Put the value here is equal to, write the right hand side as it is, P into 1 plus R by 100 to the power of N. Okay. So now you can cancel this here with 25. So you get 5712 plus P is equal to P, take the LCM, 25 plus 2 square. So you get 5712 plus P is equal to P into 27 by 25 square. Okay. Okay, this is this will cancel with 1, no? This should be 1. This is cancelling with 1, isn't it? 26. So 5712 plus P is equal to P. Now 26 square is 676. 25 square is 625. So you get here 5712 is plus P is equal to 676P by 625. Now you take all the P. This is a simple equation, linear equation. That means you take P on one side, 676P by 625 minus P. That means 5,712 is equal to, take the LCM. You get 676P minus 625P. Okay, so you get here 5,712 is equal to, this is difference is 51. Now this should be okay. Cross multiply 5,712 into 625 is equal to 51P. That means 51P is equal to 5,712 into 625. I'm not multiplying, okay, because later on it will cancel, because P will be 5,712 into 625 divided by 51. Now things are going to cancel. You can cancel this with 3. I think this will also divide. 12, 30. No, this will not, this will 5,712. Will this cancel with 3? Yes, this will cancel. It will cancel 17 times. And this will cancel 1,904 times with 3. Okay, now the 1904 will cancel with 17. Here it will cancel 112 times. Okay, so ultimately you are getting 112 into 625, which is equal to, if you multiply this, you will get 70,000. Okay, so that is how you calculate this. Any question here?
No, sir.
We now move on to another sum. And in the notes, I have done this in two ways, but here I'll just show you one way. Okay, one way, if you understand, that is sufficient. Now, what I would like to mention before going on to this sum, suppose if I invest 1,000 rupees, if I invest 1,000 rupees for, let's say, 3 years, okay, and if I invest it at, say, 10% rate of interest, okay, then what is the simple interest for the first year? This should be a simple interest for the first year. Do you agree? 300 simple interest you are getting. What is the compound interest for the first year? How do you calculate compound interest? First, calculate the amount. At the end of the first year, how much will you get? 1,000 into 1 plus. This is only for the first year. Now, this is simple interest will also be for the first year. So this should be 1. N is equal to 3 years. This SI for the first year. So at the end of first year, how much interest you are getting? Principal is 1,000. Rate is 10. Because you are calculating at the end of the first year, time should be 1 year, right? So therefore, now you cancel, you'll get 100 rupees. So at the end, although you are investing for 3 years, at the end of first year, your simple interest is how much? 100 rupees. Now let's see if I use compound interest formula at the end of the first year, how much do I get? 1,000 into 1 plus R by 100 to the power of 1. Because time is 1, I'm only calculating for 1 year, first year. Okay. So this will cancel. So I'll get 11 by 10. So I'll get how much? This 0 will cancel. I'll get 100 and 1100. This is the amount. So therefore, what is the CI? Compound interest at the end of first year? Is equal to 1100 amount minus principal 100. You see, compound interest at the end of first year and simple interest at the end of first year, they are the same. Do you see this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now you know
Yes,
what will
sir.
happen when they will start to differ. They will start differing from the second year. From the second year, when you are calculating the interest, then the compound interest will be more than the simple interest. Okay. But for the first year, always remember, for any investment, even if you're investing for 10 years, for the first year, your interest will be the same, whether compound interest or simple interest. Okay. So remember always, for the first year, SI must be equal to CI. Only for the first year, not for the second year, not for the third year, only for the first year. Okay. So keep that in mind, and then we'll do the next sum. Number 13. On what sum will the compound interest for 2 years at 4% per? Okay, this I have done already. I'll do number 14 then. Okay, this is number 14. A man invests 1,200 for 2 years at compound interest. After 1 year, the money amounts to rupees 1,275. find the interest for the second year correct to the nearest rupee. Okay, so you have to find out the interest for the second year. Okay, so for the first year, you know, for the first year, SI must be equal to CI, isn't it? So here, what is the principal that is being invested? 1200 rupees, right? And he is investing for how much time? 2 years. Okay, and how much time do you have to calculate this? You have to calculate this for sorry, this is n is equal to 1 for the first year, because at the end of the first year you are calculating. And what is the amount at the end of the first year? It is 1275. Okay, 1275. So therefore, what is this compound interest or the simple interest for the first year? 1275 minus 1200. Okay, so this is equal to how much interest you are getting? 75 rupees. Right? Now, in order to calculate what is unknown here is the rate, right? So we need to calculate the rate. What is the rate here? We use the simple interest formula. You can also use the compound interest formula, because compound interest, simple interest are the same thing for the first year. PRT by 100. So SI here is 75 rupees. P here is 1200 into rate we need to calculate. Time here is we are calculating for 1 year only, divided by 100. Okay. So this is, now you multiply 75 into 100 is equal to 1200 into R into 1. That means 1200 R is equal to 7500. That means R must be equal to 7500 divided by 1200. Now you can cancel this. 3, 4, 25. So 25 by 4. So what is the rate of interest here? 6.14%. Okay. Now, once we have got the rate of interest, what is the question here? Find the interest for the second year to the nearest rupee. Okay. What should be the interest for the second year? How do we calculate the interest for the second year? What is the principal here? 1200, right? So again here, initial investment was 1200 rupees. Invested for how many years? 2 years. At what rate we have found? 6.14%, right? So amount at the end of 2 years, A is equal to P to 1 plus R by 100 to the power of N. P here is 1200 into 1 plus 614 by 100 square, which is equal to 1200 into 1 plus 25 by 4 divided by 100 square, which is equal to 1200 into 1 plus 25 by 400 square, which is equal to, cancel this, 1 and 6. So this is 1200 into 1 plus 1 by 16 square. Take the LCM, you get 1200 into 17 by 16 square, which is 1200 into 17 by 16 into 17 by 16. Okay. So this you can calculate, you can cancel with 4. Again, you can cancel with, okay, I'll continue, this time is getting over. Okay, I'll stop.